Okay, a lot. So today we're gonna be doing a little bit of a different one, and I'll talk you through of how I farmed some denari by doing a specific certain run, right? So as you know, when you finish a run, depending on your threat level, you will be rewarded a certain amount of town denari. This scales anywhere from around 30 denari at threat level 0 to around, I believe, 110 at threat level 10, right? But there is a much faster way of how you can farm down the Mari, and here's the deal. Currently, I have everything maxed out, right? But if you haven't, this is gonna be a very, very solid method for you to do it. The only requirement I would say is to have this unlocked. You do need to have Sophie unlocked, otherwise you'll really struggle on building quite a few of these various buildings that will allow you to get denied. Everything else, honestly, you can get away without at least majority of the stuff. It does help, right? But the only requirement that I would say that is worth pushing first will be Sophie, because once you have Sophie, you will be able to farm it very, very easily. Now, the king of choice for farming will be Leo. There might be other kings, right? I personally prefer Leo because if you look at the morale effects, it does not only boost the damage of your troops, but also boosts the building's productivity. And here's the deal. With King Leo, by the time you reach around week 400, in a lot of cases you will be rocking around, I would say for inefficient builds, anywhere from like 500 to, if you are going very efficiently, to around like 800 morale, which means that at 800 morale, your buildings are working 200%, aka 3 times faster than usual, right? So this will allow you to stack a lot of production buildings and make them work really, really fast. For advisors, as you can see, Sophie is gonna be the main one. The rest sort of depend on you, right? I'm going for stuff that will help out my buildings as well, that will help out my early game. So for early game, I have Liana and I have Ember. These will allow me to give me a lot of troops, right? So it gives me 4 militia troops and 2 musketeers. This will be able to carry my early game without focusing too much on troops, so I can get my production going. And I also have Automaton. This is a very, very good advisor with Leo because it stacks his morale very easily. And for buildings, we have Gustav, which will provide some production, and Golem, which will make buildings a little bit cheaper because we will be building a lot of the same buildings and it can get a little expensive, right? So as you can see, currently I have 1000 town denari. I believe it's around like 1080, something like that. Unfortunately, I cannot check the exact amount, right? But the way we're gonna be doing this is I will take the... You know what? I will take the archers. Those will be useful. And the way we are gonna be doing this is we are gonna be pushing for a lot of buildings that produce furniture, and then buildings that allow you to sell 10 furniture for 1 denari, right? So yeah, we're gonna try to make the maximum amount of denari possible. And to get that started, first of all, keep in mind that yes, while this is an easier threat level, right, you will still need some kind of troop production, because these few troops will not be able to deal with the later waves, right? You need some proper troops that are able to deal with the more difficult waves. My recommendation, at least when you're playing King Leo, would be to go for the, what are these called? Veteran barracks, right? There are 2 troops that I would highly recommend. First one would be the Goose, right? Goose are gonna be a very, very strong AoE troop that you can make use of. Another option, if you don't like Goose, would be the... what are they called? The Worms, right? The Worms also have a very, very strong AoE damage and are able to rather easily get rid of a lot of enemies, right? Okay, we got lucky with an artifact there. Unfortunately, none of this is pretty good. And yeah, as you can see, because on threat level 2, we don't really have any sort of like restrictions, we can just jump straight into blueprint production, right? And we're gonna try to get Goose if possible. Worms are an option. I will pick Worms for now, right? Just in case we are not able to get Goose quite early. But ideally, you want to have a troop building by the time the Wandering Trader comes out, because in here you will get your first upgrade, and this will allow you to push the strength of your troops much faster. So for bees, we are not going to be using bees. We will sell that eventually, right? You don't have to push to sell that fast, right? Honestly, as long as you make sure to sell everything you don't need before the trader comes, you will be just fine, right? But you do want to sell unwanted buildings just to make sure that you don't get anything that you don't plan on upgrading, right? This includes even buildings like the market, right? You do want to sell the market before the upgrade comes, because that will pretty much guarantee that you are able to upgrade the building that you want. So we got the goose. This means that by the time the Wonder Trader comes out, we are going to be selling everything that is in the goose. Now, what I like to do usually is push for the Leo ability a bit. This will allow us to stack a lot of morale on our king, right? And once we have a lot of morale, our buildings will be working faster and our troops will be performing better. What I mean by that is even a few ducks, like even the 2 ducks or the 3 ducks, however many you get from the first building, will be more than enough to deal with a lot of the waves on this difficulty. So we want to push it a bit, right? Depending on how you play, you can push it earlier, you can push it later, right? Usually on threat 10, right, I push it as early as possible. On runs like this, I'm okay with pushing it a little bit later, right, because there's really no rush for it, and by now I do have to start selling pretty much all of my loot, and the reason for that, I'm gonna sell stuff like the sawmill, right? We're selling everything that can be upgraded because we want to make sure that we target specifically the goose building, right? So any troop buildings, any production buildings that may take up the space we want to be selling, and with those we want to be taking either flour or metal, because this will allow us to get a lot of gold in return, right? Okay, so we have the trader. As you can see, once you only have one type of building, you are able to guarantee an upgrade on a certain building that you have. Personally, I'm gonna take the damage buff. I feel like that one is a bit stronger early game, so we'll go for that. And we're also gonna try to push for an upgrade, if possible, to our king's ability, right? So for that, we do need 200 of both wood and wood and wheat, right? So we can take some grapes. And yeah, apart from that, just stacking stuff like wine, stacking stuff like metal and flour. This will allow us to push. After this, the cost is 100 of each, so you will be able to push for that as well. And after we upgrade this 2 more times, I will look into finally starting to build the goose building, right? Okay, so we are close to doing this. There we go, we have upgraded. We will be upgrading again, but I will wait on the last update for that one. I feel like it's a bit more important to upgrade your vision first now, so we'll push for that. We'll take the water, why not? We don't plan on having arcane troops anyway, and at this point, I would say wave 2, wave 3, we can start stacking some more difficult waves, precisely waves that the goose will be able to wipe out, right? Because I do plan. See, this is the reason why you always get some wine, especially on Leo, right? It does allow you to push for a little bit of an earlier vision upgrade, right? So that will save me a little bit of gold. I'm pretty happy with that. I do want to get a I do want to get a upgrade for. Oh, you know what? We can do this, and we can. Let me think about it. So now we do need some grapes. So I do want to push maybe a little bit of established production. This will allow me to get a grape field going. Do we have enough clay? We do not have enough clay, so we'll place that just to get enough clay for that. After this, because we have upgraded our goose, I will also try to push for I will also try to push for a market, right? You get market by picking the advanced production, like the third one. And by now I can start looking into a sawmill as well. I pretty much got one of the most important upgrades for Goose, so I'm pretty happy with that. We're gonna place this and we're gonna put some wheat in there as well. Okay, so we do have the vineyard. I am gonna pick it, right? We can, I think, RNG the upgrades on the geese enough, right? And again, this is threat level 2, right? You're really not gonna struggle defeating a lot of the enemies in here, especially if you have some upgrades already going, so that should be pretty cool. And yeah, we're gonna push for a vineyard. We do need a little bit of gold, so what I'm gonna try to do is try to get our market back. For some reason I'm not able to change that. Oh, there we go. I wasn't able to change that for some reason. Do I want the wheat field? I'm thinking. If I avoid the wheat field, right, this will give me an extra opportunity to get a building that I want, right, or rather an upgrade that I want. So I might as well try to avoid it for now. I'll place the sawmill there. These are the buildings that we will want, carpentry, right? We will be making the furniture, and later on we will also be making the building that sells the furniture for DENARI. However, I don't want to pick it right now, right? Because I first want to get the market going, and I want to get a few upgrades going as well. So we'll beat these ones real quick, no big deal. Oh, we do have some ranged troops, so those are doing very, very good AoE damage. Or not AoE damage, but like damage in general. Still continuing to sell everything that we don't need. Okay, we finally got the market, so we can switch back to, I would say, 1 for resources, and I will go 1 for troops. Ideally, I want to get around, we're gonna get upgrades, so 3 goose. I would say I don't want to push too far. I would say maybe 9 to 12 goose should be enough to carry me all the way to wave 440, I feel like, right? Because keep in mind, this is threat level 2, right? This is not threat level 10. The difficulty is much, much lower in here. So yeah, I will probably settle on like 4 buildings, so essentially 12 goose in total. And yeah, you know what? I could pick a little bit more flour and I would be able to get the last upgrade going. I guess that could be a shout. We can delete the bushes. There we go. You know what? Let's just take the last upgrade. This allows us to get much stronger troops from our second skill. So we'll be spawning griffins now. We can sell a lot of these as well. And ideally, you want to stack premium resources for gold now, right? To sell for gold. But if possible, you want to pick metal, because metal will be the resource that you will need for creating furniture, right? So ideally, you want to get metal if you do have the option. But as long as you pick any premium resource, it should be okay. Okay, so we're doing this. Honestly, I think I'm probably gonna skip a little bit of early game, and I'll see you somewhere around once we're a bit more established, right? Because really, there's nothing that I'm doing that you haven't seen in a regular Goose video, right? But I'll try to push for some more production, and I'll get back to you once we have that going. Okay, so just to give you a check on our progress, we are close to reaching max vision. Unfortunately, I'm having very horrible luck with the troops. As you can, I've cycled probably through 15 different barrack choices by now, and I still only have 1 goose, so that is kind of nerfing our run quite a bit, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I am not getting any goose, right? I have gotten plenty of worms, and at this point, I'm thinking about actually using the worms. But yeah, very, very unlucky in terms of RNG. As you can see, look, I'm not getting goose. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not getting goose, right? What I do want to say is I've picked up carpentry, right? I am gonna try to push for some upgrades toward it. And the reason for that is the sooner you upgrade some of the buildings, right? If you feel like your troops are good enough, right? I mean, you don't really have to push for the upgrades on your troops, right? If you feel like your troops are good enough to sustain by themselves, then feel free to use them as they are. I personally prefer to get a few upgrades on them going, right? So 4 goose are gonna be already strong enough to wipe out a lot of this. right? I do have some buffs from the musketeers which do buff the attack speed of them. I got a legendary artifact which buffs their HP, so my goose are even tankier now. So that helps quite a bit. And I'm pushing for a few more goose buildings, right? I think 2 more buildings and that will be enough. And then I'll slowly try to pivot fully into production, right? So we have the carpentry building. We're gonna try to stack up some iron production as well, right? And we're gonna start to slowly stack up the upgrades there. At this point, honestly, I'm thinking of just taking the worm riders. I may have done a mistake by overdoing the production on troops a lot, right? Because at this point, I'm not getting goose. I don't know what to say. I'm not getting any goose. Yeah, the free reroll artifact would have helped there. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to slowly move into the production of resources. What I mean by that is, first of all, we will most likely be looking into getting a forge going. We want to have probably like 3 carpentry buildings at minimum, I would say, right? That would be a decent starting point. And once we have those growing, we can build up a good reserve of buildings there. So we have the last vision upgrade. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna double up on the wood production, right? Because here's the deal. First of all, in order to produce this, you need a lot of wood and a lot of metal, right? Only then you can look into producing the actual furniture, because if you leave this running and you don't actually have any production for the resource, you're not really gonna be making much, right? So I'm gonna do triple wood production. We're gonna start producing carpentry. I only have iron from the reserves from just picking resources, right? So if you're not playing Leo, you might not even have these. So you will have to go for a forge. I will probably pick up the forge just to have it, right? I'm not sure whether I will use it yet. Although I do... Now that I'm thinking about it, I would probably prefer to maybe sell it at the moment and then only to make sure that I'm able to boost this, because this will boost the wood production that I have a lot. So you know what? Let me actually sell this for now. Try to maybe target the upgrade into the carpentry building, right? And once we have the carpentry upgraded, hopefully we can look into this. Okay, this one I do want to take. This one I do want to take, but maybe not now. Maybe not now. Because the town currency is nice. It's not gonna be something that I really need too much of, right? So first of all, we're gonna try to target the upgrade into that if possible. Boost production. Okay, we have the boost production one. We will take that for sure. And for the rest of them, I'm not gonna take anything here. So I will pick the upgrade, because as I pick upgrades, even if I don't need an upgrade, right? If I pick it up, this means that I have more chances to get an upgrade on my next one. And yeah, week 200, I've started producing some carpentry, or rather some what do they call, furniture, right? I don't need to sell it yet. For me, it's important to produce right now. I can sell it later on, even at like week 400. If I put up like 4 of those buildings, it will be just fine. For the gold, now that I'm thinking, I don't really need any more gold, so we can move that away. Because I do have the max vision, I have 1k in stock just in case I need it for something else. And I think what I'm gonna do now is probably double up on the production there. I'm still waiting for 1 more goose if possible. Perfect. Hey, speak of it and it arrives, right? Now I'm gonna pivot into double production there. Put up the goose there, right? Quickly produce it. Yeah, that is more than enough goose by now. What I'm actually gonna try to do is maybe even get it deployed so we can get rid of the crossbows and get those goose going. 8 goose is gonna be more than enough to sustain pretty much until the end of the game. Alright, so yeah, we can pretty much focus fully on wood production and iron production by now. As you can see, yeah, they're level 2 goose are gonna be able to wipe everything, right? So not an issue at all. I will take the spell there. That's a little bit of extra wood for us. These ones, I can pretty much just do everything, so we might as well just place lots of resources here. And yeah, overall looking pretty good. I will take the currency. It will help with the next upgrade, right? Let's put some wood as well. Perfect. And yeah, now I'm just sort of like slowly starting to stack the buildings that I will need. So I'm gonna go for carpentry. I'm gonna go for the furniture store. I'm gonna look into producing some iron as well. So this means I need a stone mine for resources, and I will need a forge in order to make the iron itself. All right, so we're gonna try to push for those as well. Still stacking a lot of sawmills. Unfortunately, I don't have any upgrades on my sawmill, so this nerves me quite a bit, but we should still be okay, right? Okay, there we go. In terms of production, we have 2 carpentries growing. Those use wood and iron or metal, I guess. So I have 2 wood productions. I have some stone producing. I have that stone getting converted into metal. And I may have misclicked the resource there. And yeah, overall, we are ramping up the production. I'm trying to pick metal, wood, and concert hall is nice, but I'll go for tile enchanters for now. I'm trying to buff up some of my production fields. I know it's a bit expensive, no big deal at all. And yeah, mostly just stacking the buildings that help me out with that. I can probably get rid of the vineyards by now. Those are not gonna be needed much. And yeah, picking stone, picking wood, picking iron. Iron, of course, as a priority, because that one is gonna be the most expensive resource to have. And yeah, slowly building it up. As you can see, troops, the same 8 geese, right? They haven't died yet, and I don't see them dying anytime soon, right? Because they are relatively tanky, they have very good damage. So that's pretty good. Overall, yeah, just producing resources. Not selling the furniture yet, right? Because ideally you want to first of all stack up a lot of it, and only then you can look into selling. Finally, we got a sawmill buff, 20% boost to all neighboring tiles, so that's huge. For the rest of them, this is a decent upgrade, I guess. It sort of frees up the spot of needing an iron mine, because I will have like a steady source of iron. So I will take that actually. I will take the iron mine production just so it gets rid of it from the upgrade pool, and I will take some metal from here as well. Okay, so we won't need any more stone once that finishes, so I'll let it finish. I'm not even sure if I'll let it finish, we'll see. But you can get going for now, and it looks like we will need a little bit of clay for that as well. I did forget about clay, so we do want to get a little bit of extra clay, maybe 1 mine, just to make sure that we're actually able to place those carpentries there, because we will be producing resources relatively fast, so we want to be able to keep up with it. Okay, let's take some more sawmills. We do need those. I do want to also place, because we have the friendly lumberjacks buff, I do want to buff both of the lumberjacks from one another, but I would also prefer to boost one of my buildings here if possible, so I'll do this. Actually, that doesn't change anything. There's a productive tile there. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, let's keep it like this for now, right? Oh no, you know what? Let's do this. That way it's on a productive tile. We don't need carpentry to keep going that fast, I guess, because we can always speed it up later on. And yeah, the boss is coming. No big deal there at all. What I'm gonna do actually is I'm just gonna speed up my ducks, because why not? Make them do more damage. You'll see that threat level 2, they are gonna be able to just fully wipe out the boss. It's not gonna be the fastest, right? But it's super safe as well. And if anything, you can just produce some extra troops there. We finally got our clay mine. So what we're gonna do is we will destroy the stone mine, because we do have stone production from just killing enemies. Right, so that should be enough. Get a little bit of clay going, and we'll be able to place our 3rd carpentry there as well. And we'll see how that works. All drop buildings capacity is higher. That is perfect. For these ones, we don't care. We will take the second furniture store, I guess. We can start stacking on those. Might as well. We do have the building upgrade. That's huge. We have 2 building upgrades, actually. That is perfect. That is perfect. We also have 2 troop upgrades. That helps a lot. And take level 3 production and infrastructure. I will take... I don't care about morale, to be honest. I can get 10 morale by selling 2 buildings. So we will take some iron. Iron is going to be a bit more annoying to get. So yeah, we'll stack up on that. We'll take a clay mine, but we're going to sell them because honestly, we're not going to use it. One is going to be more than enough. Also, let's produce some troops back up. We can fit the whole 20 now. What I'm going to do is get rid of some of the griffons, to be honest. I would prefer to use a goose over them. So we'll do that. Try to claim some metal, try to claim some stone where possible. Perfect. Good metal RNG so far. And yeah, we're stacked up on metal, we're stacked up on wood. We have 2.3 thousand furniture at the moment, so that's going pretty decently as well. Though I would prefer to maybe have even more wood production, right? We're gonna have some clay, and okay, in terms of iron, we're doing pretty good. We're gonna place that there. I think in terms of clay, we can also move that away. Okay, furniture store, boost production. Although I would prefer wood production. I will prefer wood production for now, so I'm gonna pick that. We also get some of our wood back. This is going to be absolutely massive, so we'll definitely take that. The reason why I'm not taking furniture upgrades at the moment is because I usually push for a lot of selling later on, right? So I don't usually like push it right off the bat, right? And I leave it for towards like the end of the run. So we can definitely move out our clay out of the way, and we can put another furniture store there. The good thing is we don't need that much wood anymore because, as you can see, it pretty much produces, I think it's 50%, right? Yeah, 50% chance to get our 3 wood back. So essentially, we use 3 wood and half of the time we get that 3 wood back. So our costs drops by 50%, which is perfect. Okay, we do have that. Let's take the range upgrade, why not? So we definitely don't need that many woodcutters anymore. And what I'm gonna do is just to boost up a lot of the buildings, especially with the Leo upgrade, even if you don't plan on using it, you can place it here. It will not use the sawmill, but it will boost the 4 neighboring tiles next to it. So that's a pretty decent buff that we have going there. And yeah, let me see. So we're gonna continue taking carpentries. 1 forge is enough, I would say, because keep in mind that we are still picking up the rewards from here, and we are still getting some metal from the actual like Leo rewards. So that should be more than enough. We definitely don't need that much wheat. I would say one extra one should be plenty. So we'll be selling some of those as well. Yeah, picking some metal is gonna be more than enough. Because we will still be getting a lot of the buildings that we simply don't use. Another production buff, let's put it there. Okay, let's sell up on those. And do keep in mind, this is by no means like the super most efficient. As you can see, I'm not doing a lot of like infrastructure upgrades, anything like that, right? This is just a simple setup of how you can get a lot of, what's it called? A lot of town denari, right? With a very, very simple strategy by simply just building some production there. So we have 3 furniture stores. I'd say I can sell down to 2. Maybe I'll place a 4th one, but I definitely won't place more, I think. Okay, so we have 2 woods. We are getting a lot back, so I'm gonna go 4 furnitures by now, right? 4 furniture stores. By the time we get to around week 400 is when I'm gonna start slowly selling them off, right? Furniture store, we get some down the mine. That's not exactly useful for us at the moment, but I might as well pick it, right? I might as well pick it. Carpentry, again, we're not gonna need a fifth one for sure. Or a fifth one I'd rather use, but sixth one we definitely won't need. And yeah, we do have some wood going, so we do still want to produce that a bit. Third furniture store, that's perfect. We currently are sitting on 4,000 furniture. And keep in mind, at a conversion of 10 to 1, that means that if we sell all of them, we're looking at around 500 extra denari that we'll be getting in the lobby. So ideally, my record, the previous time I tested this, was 600 denari. So I will try to push for around maybe 700 and then start off selling it a lot, right? We'll see if we're able to do that. Okay, so first of all, for these ones, let's pick the resources. Let's pick this. Let's pick the upgrade and the building, then resources, and then resources again. I want to avoid spells. I'm not a big fan of spells. For this one, I guess we can take the healers. Why not? Don't exactly need any of them. Okay, carpentry buildings, we can sell those. Wheat fields, we can sell those. Still taking some metal where we can. And yeah, we're definitely gonna scale down the actual production, and we're gonna try to boost up the selling of our actual like buildings. So carpentry, we can get rid of that. Honestly, we can get rid of the last carpentry, I think. I will probably leave maybe one or two running, but a majority of the time I will be looking into selling it all. So, okay, just to make sure that we do sell everything in time, right? I'm gonna destroy this. I'm gonna place our first one. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna sell relatively fast, I would say. I think I can sell another one and go for double production there. What we're also gonna do is I'm actually gonna switch places with that, and I don't want these boosted, right? Because the templates, I don't really care about being boosted too much. What I'm gonna do is I'll move the forge because I still want that to be boosted. Templates, I can scale down. Actually, I'm not even gonna place the third one. We're gonna go 3 selling buildings, right? Yeah, we are able to deal with that. Buildings work faster, that's perfect. Goose training, we don't care about anymore. I do like the forge upgrade, but I feel like an upgrade to this would be a bit better. So, can we gamble it? Can we gamble it? We gambling it. Perfect, perfect. We got the boost production. We got another furniture store, that is perfect. Yeah, we should be able to build 2 more, to be honest, so that's not a big deal at all. And yeah, we are slowly selling it all off. I'm probably gonna... Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna remove this as well. We don't need any more of those. And we can fully go on like production and selling. So we have a wood mill just for some extra wood. We have steel production, which we will run out of soon, I would say. And we have 2 furnitures, right? Those are still giving us some wood back, so we should be okay on wood for the meantime. And we have 4 buildings going full on selling everything, right? Okay, let's take some stone. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at the amount of furniture I have. I'm thinking whether I may have went a little bit too easy on that as well. I think I could have went even harder on the selling part, so I might have to... I think I might have to go for some extra... Yeah, you know what? What we're gonna do is we're gonna go... No, actually not this. Let's put it next to the booster tile, right? So it sells a bit faster. Yeah, we need to push our selling capabilities a bit more, right? Because we do have 5,000 furniture that we need to get rid of in like the next... until this boss arrives. So yeah, we need to hurry up quite a bit. And yeah, kingdom infrastructure, concert hall. You know what? Concert hall is gonna be perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I will delete this. Screw the forge for now. We are gonna move this so it is boosted by the sawmill, and then concert hall so this is boosted even more. We're gonna start selling pretty much everything by now. And yeah, just go full on push for production, right? 5,000 furniture. Is it gonna be fast enough? It might not be fast enough, you know, it might not be fast enough. What I'm gonna, okay, you know what? What we need to do real quick is try to get another infrastructure maybe. Oh, I may have produced too much furniture. I'm not gonna lie, I may have produced too much furniture. We don't care about wood. Let's try to get one more furniture store if possible. And then replace it with that. Arena, we do not care about arena at all. Oh, I may have overshot a bit. I may have overshot a bit, but as you can see, the idea is there, right? You pretty much, yeah, I'm not. Oh, I should have rerolled. I should have rerolled. I didn't think about that. I should have rerolled. I should have rerolled because I'm definitely not gonna spend all of the denari that I have right now. Concert hall. Honestly, all of these. Sure, I mean, let's just buy out everything because why not? We're rich, right? You roll this for nothing great. Can I please have reroll? Another concert hall. No, reroll, please. Reroll. Okay, well, yeah, I overshot with the furniture. We're not gonna be able to sell all of it, unfortunately, from what I can see. Yeah, and I'm not getting the upgrade that I actually need. We can do this, I guess, right? We can technically build up some additional, but nah, I don't even have the buildings. Yeah, we overshot a bit, and even then we should be able to, you know what I can do? I can put this here, this will boost the production here. I can also put this here, this will boost this building's production here. May I please, may I please? Okay, this helps a bit, I guess. No, it actually doesn't. I don't have any buildings that I can place that on, unfortunately. I don't know. Dude, I don't remember if 2 concert halls work, right? Also, what's the price on that? I am gonna do... let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Put it on a more productive tile. It's still boosted by this, so that should be okay. Yeah, we're gonna be left with like 3,000 furniture. We didn't sell fast enough, unfortunately. But you get the idea, right? Although, what I could technically do is I could remove a lot of my troops. What this will do is make sure that I buy enough time for the boss to do his stuff, and that way we are not... Oh, it's this boss as well. That's kind of perfect. The good thing about this, right? Even if I lose, it doesn't really matter if I lose, right? Because you're gonna get like maybe 3% less actual production, but you will be able to get rid of all of that furniture that you have saved up, right? You know what? I still have way too many troops. I need even less. Okay, so we have a few griffons. That's perfect. Sell off our furniture, please. Okay, I don't remember if the concert hall stack, but might as well try, right? Okay, we have lost our griffon, so let's launch 2 geese into the battlefield. They hopefully will target the... what's it called? Hopefully they'll target the healers. There we go. We are just selling the furniture. See if we are able to do that. Weaken the boss a bit. Oh, you know what? We can also freeze the boss so he doesn't move. We're selling more furniture this way. Release 2 more geese. I distract them. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, let's do 2 more geese. Oh, my musketeers are dead. But yeah, we're trying to min-max. Okay, you know what? 1,800, that's not too bad, right? That's not too bad. I was expecting definitely to have way less, right? But it should be okay. Okay, now what we're gonna do is do this. Produce a few geese that I will be able to displace. And yeah, we're just gonna do one by one. We're sort of using them as a distraction, right? While we are trying to sell everything off. Let's release Griffon as a distraction. You know what? If I get down to 1,000 furniture, I would say that's good enough, right? I would say that's good enough. One more geese as distraction. Come on, let's get down to 1,000, I believe. One more geese as distraction. Come on. Last geese as distraction. Okay, we're down to 1,000. I'm pretty happy. And we beat it. Okay, 700 furniture left. Now, it will not show up here, right? But keep in mind, we got 66 denarii from here. Remember when in lobby we had... It showed as 1,000, right? But I do remember getting around 60 and still having 1,000 before that run. So it's gonna be like 1,080 by the time we started the run. Now we get 66, and if we go to the lobby, unfortunately it doesn't show up. Oh, why doesn't it show up? It should show up. But basically, okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try to see how much denarii I actually got in the edit and leave a number on screen, right? Because unfortunately it doesn't show up here, but I'll give you like a rough estimate of how much I got from all of the selling, right? I'll try to calculate how much I had there. And yeah, overall, that's pretty much how you earn a lot of denarii. It's a shame it doesn't... I thought that it would maybe show like 1.7k. It doesn't have to be an exact number. I thought it would say like 1.7k or 1.8k. I don't think there's any way to check it, unfortunately. I've tried checking it through like upgrades and stuff, but no, it doesn't show up there. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to check it, it seems. But as you can see, that's one of the ways how you can produce a lot of denarii. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. And yeah, peace.